My childhood sweetheart, a woman who once cheated on me, showed up at my doorstep with a knife after 50 years. It sounds like the beginning of a thriller, but it really happened to me. Our story began when we were 8 years old, best friends until she betrayed me. Years later, she reappeared, trying to mend our relationship. But I was no longer that easily manipulated little boy. We initially went on a lot of play dates and to each other's birthday parties because our moms and subsequently our dads got along really well. Her dad was rich, a president of a technology company. My dad was up middle class and not hurting for money himself. At this point, Lily had long brown hair. She had these big pale blue eyes that would blast me in my stomach every time our eyes met. My little self had no idea what was going on in middle school. We were both goth emo kids and outcasts. Rippy, Curtis. She had short black hair and was kind of pudgy. I was a 6 foot tall, skinny guy. I mowed lawns all summer and saved up some money. I bought her a ceramic unicorn. When I asked her to go steady with me, I was sure she'd say yes. And she did. Around the end of 7th grade, she decided she wanted to change her style and told me to change her social circle. She made it clear that I would need to evolve with her or be left behind. So I changed to by the end of our sophomore year. In high school, she had a major glow up. She was physically very fit from swimming. She had grown her hair long and dyed it blonde. I had a glow up myself from orthodontics, lifting weights with the football team and running track and field. I think I could have played football. But Lily thought that only idiots played football and I didn't feel strongly about it. Either way, Lily had guys after her, but she was loyal. Or so I thought. She was probably loyal. At least, I later learned that she was going to second base with guys from other schools at house parties. But this was in the future and I was oblivious at the time. I had girls after me too, but Lily would run them off. She'd give them a subtle warning to begin with and then she'd pretty much eviscerate them socially if they didn't back off. One girl got messed with so bad that she didn't come back to school. I still don't know the details of that. I didn't really want any of them because, quite frankly, Lily was way better looking and she knew it. First major trouble I had with her was at senior prom. I was coming out of the restroom and some girls came out to me saying, "I'm so sorry and what are you going to do?" I asked them what they meant and they told me Lily had slow danced with another guy and kissed him on the dance floor. I confronted her about it and she convinced me it was non-consensual. I started to go look for the guy to beat the piss out of him. But she pulled me back and told me that we were going to leave to go to a hotel. She had arranged a fancy hotel reservation and she told me we were going to go all the way that night we did. I can verify that she was a virgin when we did it. And so was I. We graduated and went to the same college. I majored in computer science and she majored in art history. I would make fun of her for it. I won a lottery to get its sought-after dorm room. It was a little bigger than a normal dorm room. But what made it so sought after was that it had its own small private bathroom. Millie, of course, lived in a fancy condo over near campus. She insisted on buying brand new hardwood furniture from her room. She got me a fancy desk chair that was surplus from her dad's office. Herman Miller. Dang, I missed that chair. She had always bought clothes for me, even though I told her not to. I bought her little gifts too. 3rd year in college, I was studying in the library. I got a call from a friend telling me that he was sorry that Julia and I had broken up and asked me if I wanted to come to a party and that there'd be girls there. I was like, what? Whoa, what the EFF are you talking about? He told me he saw Illy with some guy at a party, making out heavily. I remember that she pulled him out of the party to her car. My friend asked Lily what about Ethan. She told him we were broken up. We hung up and I took a chance and went to Lily condo. To get to the bottom of it all, I had a key. I went in and loud music was playing. I went back to the bedroom and there they were. The thing that still sticks with me this day was the fact that she had a shirt over his head and her lipstick was smeared on his chest. I yelled what the FF and she stared at me with a goofy look on her dumb, drunken face. I grabbed the nearest breakable thing, which turned out to be the ceramic unicorn. I got her and whipped it at her makeup table, smashing it. I yelled, "F you, Lily, we are done," and stormed out of there, with her calling after me. The next day she called and was apologetic, but explained that she wanted to tell me that we were on a break. And it's okay. I don't know what on a break meant. and I thought it meant the same thing as broken up. So I was like no crap on a break and hung up on her. She started dating this guy, who had a reputation as an F-boy. They were apparently in an open relationship and she bought clothes and stuff for him, like she did me. And she was seen with other guys, but again with him. I was basically eating my heart out and trying to get the best grades possible. I went out, but I didn't have any girlfriends. I just partied occasionally to cope. I got rid of everything that reminded me of her. I donated all of the furniture and replaced it with store particle board crap. I had to start dressing in thrift store clothes too, because I got rid of all the clothes she bought me. It was about half of my wardrobe. I deleted all of our clothes and threw them away. I told my parents what had happened and they and Lily's parents wisely stayed out of it. I told my parents and friends not to talk about her with me. She was a figment of my imagination. This is when someone told me about her going to second base with guys at parties during high school. Approximately 9 months later, she broke up with F-boy. The rumor was that he had to go in front of a bunch of people in public at a party. She was embarrassed and dumped him. She came to me not long after. It was unexpected of me when I opened the door there. She was looking very beautiful, with a bright smile on her face and the glued-together unicorn in her hands. I was stunned as she walked in. I totally did not expect her. She asked if I had gotten robbed. All the stuff she bought of me was gone. I told her that if she wanted the furniture, she better go to Goodwill and get it back. She looked hurt. She showed me the unicorn like it was a metaphor for a repair relationship. I told her it looked like crap and we were broken up. She explained what on a break meant. I told her I don't give an F. We're broken up. She started crying, but I told her to leave. She would then show up in my classes and try to convince me that we were soulmates who were destined to be together. I told her that soulmates don't have other dudes. She told our mutual friends and they started pressuring me to get back with her because she's incomparable. She sent me notes and letters trash. She sent me flowers and candy like I was some insulted 1950s housewife. Trash. Just being around there hurt me physically. So I transferred out at the end of the semester, ghosting her. I probably should have made other arrangements because I had to go to school 2 more years because a bunch of credits didn't transfer. At the new school I was signed up for a bunch of classes I already took and ended up barely passing them because I was in my bed all the time. My roommate, not a friend at the time, just assigned to the same dorm room, got annoyed that I was always there and a little worried about my attitude. So he called the campus police on me. I didn't get in trouble, but I didn't have to go see a counselor who told me I was having a major depressive episode and PTSD and that Lily had some kind of personality disorder or was a sociopath who had groomed me and manipulated me into dependence on her. I don't know if that's all true, but the Z-off sure helped. I heard that Lily came looking for me at my parents' home. She kept asking them where I was and if she could contact me. They kept telling her no, but she got more and more belligerent and hysterical with them until Lily's parents told her to stop or they would institutionalize her. I graduated and got a job. I transferred to Singapore, where I met my now wife. That's a whole other story. I was a passport bro, before there were passports brothers. Apparently I was 35 when we got married and she was 26. We moved back to the USA and had 3 kids. We're doing great. Fast forward to yesterday. I only use Facebook to occasionally upload family pictures, but mostly post amusing stuff that comes out of my head. For example, I found an entire bowl of cereal in the today, so I guess we're Bezos rich now. I got a Facebook message from Lily. It had a photo of the unicorn and in it she apologized for what she did and for hurting me and that she'll never get over me. I didn't write back. I would never insult my wife like that. I blocked Lily. But what surprised me was reaction to it: blinding, effing rage. I having punched the wall, denting the sheetrock, and I was so mad that tears came down my face, gritting my teeth. Major headache. I swear if Lily were there in front of me, I would have curb stomped her into the death penalty. I'm not a violent guy. I really am not. I lied to my wife and told her I had to work late and I went on a long, vigorous walk downtown to get my mind off of it. I couldn't go home like this later. Uncommon feeling nothing. But my reaction puzzles me. Isn't the opposite of love indifference? I just don't understand how that happened. I guess the solution is more therapy and ZOLF. Let's see what the community thinks the solution should be. First up, forget her. She was being manipulative and hurtful then, and she's still being manipulative now. Enjoy your happy life and don't let ghosts haunt you. Your story would make a great AES-style coming-of-age movie script. Ethan replied, Probably too cliché. Yeah, listen with that. I just can't believe I reacted like that. I don't know why I reacted that way. I mean, right now I'm fine with it. I don't feel anything. Maybe I just needed to let off steam. If she finds some other way to contact me, am I going to be like this again? That's my worry, that she'll show up at my door and I'll end up going to prison for murder. Alright. Someone says you should tell the sort of your wife and let her know how you feel. I guarantee that this will allow the indifference kick in towards Lily and will have a huge bonding effect with your wife. What a witch she is. Good luck. Manly Ethan replies. I will tell her I just don't want my wife to feel threatened or anything. Because that will mean that my wife knows that another woman has gotten under my skin. But not in a good way. I said this elsewhere. But I'll call up and talk to someone. Alright. We have a new update. So upon recommendations from the comments on my first post, I talked to my wife about Lily. She was aware of Lily before we got married. But I downplayed the effect the breakup had on me. I just told my wife that she cheated on me and I ended it. But not how much it broke me. At the time I showed her my Reddit post and told her about getting the Facebook message from Lily and what I did. She was concerned and told me that she agreed with most of you, that I should go and talk with someone about it. I assured my wife that our 21 years together and 3 kids wasn't a practice run, so I could get back together with Lily. And she laughed. She knows I hate Lily. My wife mentioned something that I should have thought of, that Lily probably mailed my Facebook email address. For clarity, I set up a free email address for Facebook notifications. I never checked it. In order to log on, I had to reset the password. I didn't. There was an email from Lily. I decided to read it after downing a gin and tonic and the crazy train derailed. First of all, keep in mind that the Lily I knew in high school was a beautiful, nice girl. But the Lily I discovered after catching her cheating with another guy was a lying liar who lies. After catching her and subsequently learning that she was going to second base with other dudes behind my back all through high school and hooking up with dudes behind my back in college, I came to the conclusion that I couldn't trust one word that oozed out of that dank hole in the middle of her dumb, effing face. So I read her email with extreme skepticism. In her email, she said that after I abandoned her at the end of junior year, she was broken and lost, and that her world ended in drama. Her soulmate had abandoned her. She explained that she wanted to experience the sexual freedom the college life had to offer and wanted me to do the same. So she declared that we were on a break. She was hoping for us to come together with what we had learned sexually and have a better sex life. Which is the dumbest, I think, thing I have ever heard. So apparently her half-but plan was for me to become a sex king while we were on a break and pass the benefits on to her. And she would learn all kinds of new nasty things and bring them to me. She said that when our break was over and she came back to me, she realized that I didn't know what on a break meant and I thought we were broken up. And that she had hurt me a lot. She realized this when she came to my place and saw I had gotten rid of everything that had to do with her gifts, photos, furniture, etc. She realized she had lost me and her world shattered. She was further hurt when I abandoned us and she was so mentally damaged that she had to spend time in an institution. However, she moved to Europe to be a fashion model. I missed the European fashion model booth on a career day at school. Maybe it was in the back between the rock star booth and the billionaire playboy booth. She got involved in the party lifestyle there. Never married and returned to the USA after her last long-term fiancé broke it off with her. She moved in with her parents to help them because they getting old and saw a photo of us in a box that she was moving and wanted to call me. This is what it chilled down my spine. She said she wanted to get together for a drink and to go over old times. She said she forgives me for abandoning us and moving on with my life without her. She says she still believes we are soulmates and that our story is not over. She wrote to me to please respond. Is there such a thing as I sanitize her? I had already made an appointment with my son's psychiatrist. He has severe autism. I called up my dad because my mom died 8 months ago and he was mourning her. My older brother is also a widower and they are living together now. My dad is 91 and he was married to my mom for 71 years, but knew her for 77 years. I mentioned about Lily and my dad perked up and I asked him about her. The crazy train not only derailed but flipped Tenet over into crash in the middle of Crazy Town. My dad said he didn't tell me about this because I was so adamant at the time for them to not mention anything about Lily to me at all. After I ghosted her, Lily showed up at my dad's house multiple times, begging them to tell me where I was. Finally, she showed up and held a knife to her throat, threatening to off herself if they didn't tell her. My dad restrained her and my mom called her parents to come pick her up, and they later learned that she was put into a mental health facility. Our two families stopped communicating after that, so that part of her email was at least true. I talked with my psychiatrist and she said that my anger outburst is indicative of PTSD, which I had been diagnosed with years before. Just after I ghosted Lily, she said I pretty thoroughly cut Lily out of my life to the point where she only existed in my memories, and those faded over time. So when she contacted me, it all came rushing back, and yes, I feel embarrassed and pathetic for my dumb experience being compared to a combat veteran. She said Lily probably has some kind of cluster B disorder, which means, in her case at least, that she's the star of her own reality TV show, and we all supporting players who better stick to her script. Or else. I asked the psychiatrist if I should respond to Lily's email, and she said no, that it would only add another page to the TV show script in her mind, which would encourage her to do more. She recommended therapy with a therapist that specializes in PTSD and recommended one to me. I made an appointment with them. I asked my wife, my dad and my brother if I should respond to Lily's email, and I'll agree with the psychiatrist. My brother said I should reply to her email with one word: unsubscribed. The problem is that I have a unique last name. If you Google my first, middle, and last name, you'll see that there are a handful of people in the USA with my name. I had asked a friend who is a deputy sheriff, and he said you can't get a restraining order unless you're assaulted or threatened with harm. Lily can find where I live with a little effort, so I'm worried that if I don't at least email her to stay away, that she'll track me down. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of the story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications for updates.